Able to dodge that one with the nano swarm. Finds Estrella. Mako dead. And Jing will find the last kill. All aboard, ladies and gentlemen. The train is for real. Paper X have qualified to Masters Toronto. The final seed, the final team from Pacific. They are back on the global stage once again.
Yes, it actually happened. Unbelievably, it did actually happen. And to think that Paper X started 0-3 in the group stages, and they literally needed to win 5 games in a row to make it to Masters, and they went and did it and won 5 games in a row to make it to Masters Toronto. So we're going to take a look at their Icebox here then against DRX. We've already seen them be good on Lotus, which was the other map that they won here. But we're going to take a look at their defense side, and we're going to get a lot of this. Okay, you're going to see a lot of this in these rounds. We've got a 4-stack on A, solo Killjoy over here towards B, and we're going to get aggressive. I think we're actually going to see this exact same setup later on in the round, where there are people here from DRX. But what we're going to essentially do, I think, is like these two are going to like spam essentially, and then these two are going to run up. So we've got Dart, you know, aggression from the Omen and Jet here from Jing and something, and we're just gonna go and be aggressive. Now of course there's no one there this time, and actually for DRX this looks pretty good, right? Like, hey, they're running in towards a pretty open B site here, and you know, actually looks like a pretty good start here for DRX. And in a second they're actually gonna harbor ult as well, right? So it's gonna look pretty good here, right? Like in terms of, hey, they had a 4-stack on A, there's no one there, we've just instantly ran into B. You would think like this is pretty good, about as good as it could get from DRX. One thing I don't like that they don't really do here though is you see where the harbor ult is, right? It's kind of like pushed towards the, you know, deeper onto the site, and they are going to do like, you know, the deeper harbor wall here as well, but they don't really actually take this space. And from Paper Rex's point of view, they managed to punish this pretty well by just, they were pretty good all day at spike denial. And Patman in particular, we're going to see multiple rounds here where he is basically able to just, you know, completely deny the spike, and DRX are going to struggle because of that.
Delay, but now the Reckoning going to be invested as the wall goes up, cutting off the angles here at Snowman as well. And considering the bite, and some shots are starting to fly, and there's the spray through. It's Rhea going to be put down on the floor. Wall's getting ready to fall. This now becomes a very difficult position here for the side of DRX to actually get the spike in play. They aren't able to do so, but Free and Hyunmin both going to be taken down as something pinches in from under tube. Mako lingering here within his smoke, but something just a little bit faster. Bane finding himself a second, the nano at the ready. The wrap around here, back yellow. And something with a 3K.
So again, I don't love the way here that DRX play this one, as I said, right? With the harbor ult, you see we never actually kind of take the space that the harbor ult should be giving us. So it's a little bit strange here from DRX. I don't really understand exactly what they're doing. Perhaps they're a bit scared of their own post plant. But this snake bite that you can just see whizzing across the screen just here is going to be absolutely crucial, because it's going to allow them to get this kill. We actually missed the shock dart here, but Patman finds the perfect spam angle with this perfect snake bite onto the spike as well. They destroy the cove, stop the plant, and really now everything is gone for DRX, right? They now, you know, they didn't take this kind of deeper space, which had they done, maybe they would be in a better spot as well at this point, you know, to get a kind of a safer plant down here. But they didn't take any deeper space, so now they don't know what they're missing. This wall is about to fade, and, you know, everything is just chaos now. There's really not much for DRX to do, because all of Paper X are now here. They know where the spike wants to go down. Once this harbor wall, you know, subsides, you know, they're having to defend the spike from here, but I mean, there's just too much going on, and all of Paper X are here, and so it's very, very difficult for them in this situation. And Paper X, you know, rightfully take advantage of it and you know, have a very good round. And really that just comes about because, you know, it's some nice util from Patman, who again is going to consistently, we're going to see it in this game, multiple occasions, you know, was able to kind of do something like that to stop the spike plant, and you just see how many problems that caused for DRX. Let's skip ahead now to round number 5, and in this one, this is about as big as an eco, you know, you're gonna find here. You know, like at this point in the game, right? 3 classics, a sheriff, and a bulldog, right? It doesn't get much worse than that coming into round 5 for Paper X here, but they're gonna manage to win this round. Again, same sort of plan early in the half, right? We got 4 players stacked up here on A. We're gonna be aggro, right? We're gonna go for you here. We're gonna try and you know, disrupt you, and it goes pretty well, right? They managed to find that first kill there on Freeing, who's a little bit disconnected from the team. If we just take a look at the map here, you'll see it's just kind of one of those things where maybe they're not really expecting them to be here because of the salvos, but Jing has just essentially TP'd past it, right? So maybe this is just something that, you know, they aren't maybe used to playing against the Omen. You're not maybe fully used to this, but, you know, Jing, and also Jing just happens to be the one guy who has a Bulldog as well, right? But he manages to win that fight. Very quickly, DRX kind of realized, like, oh, you know, there's maybe too much heat here. We see that eventually they are going to come back over towards this B site instead. And again, though, what we're going to see from Paper X is they came aggro, right? And this is going to be another theme as well. They aggro, and then they completely, you know, run away. And again, look, they're ahead of the curve here in terms of getting over towards B by the time the DRX actually decide to do that as well, right? So DRX, they're kind of umming and ahhing. They're not really sure which way to go. But eventually the call comes in that they are going to come towards B with this little jet mid lurk just in here. But you'll see again that Paper X are going to do another exceptional job at stopping the spike from going down and then playing well and kind of, you know, huddling as a team with their eco weapons and winning the round.
Staying stagnant here for the moment. Where did that go?
I don't know.
What happened to that?
I was just looking for it too.
Did it just evaporate immediately?
It just
there
didn't show up on the map.
Okay, it didn't show up on the mini-map, so I was very confused.
Same.
Oh, tons of damage. Spike planted straight, giving his life for the cause there. Now you've got 3 players versus 5. Hyunmin on this flank needs to go absolutely monstrous for the team. As swing out, pulls the trigger, doesn't play it patient. Just lets him know where he's at. Knives now swooping forward, something able to find one Bane. Transfers in for a second. Hyunmin's position noted. The plant not really gonna be for him. Up and over the top it goes. Tries to get the spray down, but for
so this one is going to be a bit of a tilter again for Estrella playing this harbor. I mean, if you take a look at this just here in a second, you're going to see he's going to try and plant the spike here. So, you know, he's just going to walk up here and start planting in a second. He still has his cove, right? So dying the way he does when you've still got a cove, and he would have got, you know, another harbor ult here as well, you know, had he actually planted and lived here. You know, this is an absolute tilter. Now, I can maybe somewhat understand why he doesn't want to cove, because he's maybe thinking, well, I know that they're on an eco. Do I want to cove and put myself in kind of a Thunderdome against, you know, someone who's jumping in with a classic, or maybe has like a Stinger or something, right? He doesn't maybe know what they've got. Like, yeah, I can understand why, you know, you might not want to do that, but obviously dying the way he does, you know, is quite sad, right? So the right click just takes him right down to 6 HP. So that one little right click almost kills him completely on its own. And then Patman throws in the snake bite and he instantly dies. Now, I mean, luckily for DRX, they do actually just about manage to get the spike down. Because again, we could have had the same issue coming up had that not been the case. But as I say, Paper Rex here, they do a good job of you know, just kind of flooding together, of, you know, kind of getting past Hyunmin just there and now just kind of going for it, right? Something has his knives. We're just running out. Okay, Bane gets 2, but again, we've just all flooded together as a team, and then they played this situation really, really well, right? Like Forsaken getting on it, you know, creating that pressure for Hyunmin, and then trading, realizing the situation, coming back, getting that kill. Really well played by Forsaken, and again, another conversion by Paper Rex. Okay, let's come to the very next round, and in this one, you're going to see, well, guess what? Aggro on A. 4 players on A. Aggroing, getting past the salvos, you know, trying to find this first kill just in here, right? I mean, it gets pretty close. Then even popping in a Silver ult as well. Silver ult actually doesn't find too much, and they seem a little bit disconnected here, right? Like something is retreating. You know, normally we'd like to be kind of going with that Silver ult, so maybe on slightly different pages there. And then Mako, you know, starts to lurk up. Now, you're just going to get a full A exec here coming in from DRX, and they are going to ult spam them, essentially, right? Harbor ult in here, Harbor wall coming in there. You got Mako to worry about on this lurk now, and in they come towards this A site. And there's not really much you can do at this point, right, if you're Paper Rex. And this is one of those things where Mako is going to retreat back, feign as if he's retreating, and then he's actually going to come back up, right? So he's kind of, you know, pretended like he's gone back. Now he's coming back up, and he's going to actually find the first kill on something just there, but then gets traded. But it even gets worse for Paper Rex, because now the spike is down, and what you're going to see now is a Killjoy lockdown coming in, right? So you're looking at this right here, like, okay, the spike is already down. We got a Killjoy lockdown coming in. We don't really have a great way to destroy that. Probably using that Silver ult early on. You know, wasn't the best use of our Silver ult, let's be real. And so now we're in a lot of trouble. But take a look at what Patman's going to do here. There's a couple decisions that I really like, right? Like, Patman's just going to decide to take a mega risk, right? And just kind of come up here on his own. And, you know, normally this is the kind of thing that you might be like, well, that's just a terrible decision because he's just going to die, right? But the thing is, the chance of winning this round without some sort of major risk isn't very high, right? Teo is still alive with a Teo ult, by the way, as well. You know, we've got the Killjoy lockdown coming in. The spike is already down. Like, Paperex are in a really bad situation. And when you're in a super bad situation, taking big risks is often what you need to get back into it, right? So this, even though normally it would be you know, a troll in most situations, in this situation they need to take a big risk, so it's probably worth it. Another decision I like is this, right? The flank that we're gonna see basically win the round when there's a Killjoy lockdown here, and you know that you're not gonna take any kind of aggressive timing here or whatever. Well, yeah, you might as well take the time to flank, because, you know, otherwise you're just sitting back here doing nothing. So I love the decision from these two players, and it ends up basically those two things combined end up winning them the round.
Gunman pinged out. Patman chasing forward, finds that elimination, but now needs to try to just go ahead, tuck out into the corner. So lockdown gets ready to trigger, and it's going to be the pit invested actually. Gives himself over to the detain.
Go ahead.
Turret keeps him protected from behind here for the moment. Bane on the hunt, trying to flush out Forsaken at the same time. The Armageddon goes in, and Forsaken guns down 3, swing out, cannot find it. A 4K.
So of course this is absolutely insane from Forsaken and some of the aim, but as I said, like in terms of, you know, coming on this flank, expecting kind of the Teo ult to come out, you know, the Teo is probably playing back here somewhere is what they're thinking, right? So try and catch out that Teo, try and kill him before he can salvo and you know, go for all of his kind of tricks and the boring, you know, cringe post-plant stuff. You know, we got, again, Estrella trying to do like this harbor wall across here, right, to kind of like stop this push from this way. But this is why this flank is like, I mean, without this flank, they obviously don't win this round, right? Or it seems pretty obvious, although they do have the Omen to smoke off the spike, right? So there's a couple things going on here, right? You've got the Omen to smoke off the spike to create pressure this way. You've got pressure coming in from this way as well, right? It's turning attention towards this rather than Jing, who's now, you know, on the spike. So there's a couple things, different win cons the Paperex are kind of, you know, getting here from their comp and how they decided to play this round, and it works very, very well for them. And it's just, yeah, a couple kind of big risks in kind of a situation that required big risks to go and win, and you should never really lose that round if you're DRX, right? You use Harbor ult, use Killjoy lockdown, Teo ult, that should be pretty much unlosable, but Paperex managed to find a way to win. Okay, now let's quickly just come to the start of round number 8, and in this one, we're going to get a different A aggro. I mean, look at the setup. You're not going to believe this. It's Killjoy alone on B with 4 players on A. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Never seen that one before, where, again, we're getting Jing TPing forward, so you can see him just here. You're going to get these guys spamming now, so they're going to spam, and that's going to allow something here to run up, right? So we're creating noise here, essentially. The spam actually will find a kill, though, right? So they go for the double spam that does actually kill Hyunmin. So a crazy little spam just there, but by obviously going for that spam, and, you know, I mean, also the noise of the salvos here as well, is going to mask any footsteps that you're going to get here, so something is able to get super up, super aggro, super early, and, you know, completely catch them off guard with this timing. Right, so he manages to get this kill here, and then he's dashing away. I mean, it's just really good stuff from Paperex, right? And then, like, again, are we overheating? Are we playing stupid? Are we doing stupid Paperex things by, you know, continuing to do this, even though we're in a 5v3? No. We're out. We're out of there. See you later. 5v3, good luck. The round is already over, right? Like, they already won. And at this point, DRX basically just did kind of give up in the round, you know, tried to walk around a bit, died somewhere else, and then it literally was round over. And then if we come to the very next round as well, in round number 9, what do we get? Something a bit different, but similar, right? So this time you've got the Viper and Killjoy, kind of, you're not on A, but you still got 3 players here. This time we're going to get a bit of a different aggro, where Jing this time is going to, with a drone, TP up just here. So they send the drone out towards A. He's now going to TP on top, and he's going to do a little tightrope walk just there, and then he's going to go super aggro, right? And he's going to clear pretty much all of A, right? So straight away, they know something is already across over towards B. Again, take a look at this, right? Because you're going to get a snakebite in here again. And again, Estrella, guess what? Try planting this spike. Good luck. Good luck, my friend, because you're going to get the snakebite coming in from downtown, and something's just going to spam. And, I mean, we get 2 Viper assists here. I'm going to assume that snakebite landed perfectly and is getting multiple kills, right? So again, really good stuff from Patman, you know, giving them kind of just an insane advantage. Again, the spam, the spike denial, not letting it go down. And again, the round is pretty much over. Now, Jing actually has ran past Bane here, right? He actually has ran past Bane. I don't know how he's going to turn around at this point and realize that Bane is there. I'm not sure why, if it's off the turret or if he heard him. I don't know. But, you know, he instantly kind of cleared out all of A, told them it was going B. People got here in time. Snakebite, spike denial, spam. Now he's going to find a kill here as well from Jing. you just see like Paper X, yeah, the overall game plan, right, of a lot of these rounds is very similar and, you know, seems quite simple. But if it works, right? And if they can find stuff that just works for them and their opponent doesn't know what to do about it, then that's all you need, right? Icebox isn't the most complicated macro map, and Paper X very much deserve to win this game and go to Masters Toronto. Choo choo.
Something. He's just mowed him down through the smoke. Jing eventually, patience there, gets rewarded, finds himself a kill. Hunter's Fury going to be called out. Something finds Fring, and that's going to be a flawless round. Paper X